All right. Welcome to CR Game Room, everybody. I'm Chris.
I'm Rob.
That's Rob,
Beat you to it.
and the one on the other side with no face, just a rogue type thing. That's Joe.
Faceless Joe.
Faceless? Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that.
That means I have like some really shady history that you don't even know about.
Yep.
We don't know about your true history except for that you're named after bands. That's really
true.
it.
Not
Kinda
everybody knows
hard.
that either.
You said it on stream.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did.
Except
Yeah,
for
but not everybody watches our streams.
everyone in the world watches
What
the
are you
stream.
talking about?
God.
Everybody does.
So
You know who else watches my stream? My mom.
my mom doesn't. She does not.
My mom says I'm handsome.
So today on the stream, we're going to be talking about a couple things going on in the world of Dice Masters and what's going on with that, including our tournament schedules going forward, and also just some other stuff going on. So yeah, that's basically it. It shouldn't be that long of a stream because we kind of went over a lot of stuff with the 2-team takedown just to explain it and go over it last week. So in two
we're gonna
streams.
pretty much repeat the exact same thing over and over, so it looks like we have a duplicate stream.
With repeating, of course.
Repeat.
Oh, but we only have the three of us. Last time Ben was on, so that wouldn't work.
I can put a fake picture of him up. But so let's get into it. So we had the matchup for the finals going on, and so basically I watched the match live. I should have put it on and played it, but it was really after our stream on Wednesday, and me and Robert watched it, and we had some good commentary on it, and we should have streamed it. It was hilarious.
Yeah, we kind of got there a little late though, and
Yeah,
I mean it was a really good match, but
yeah,
we just got there late and feel like y'all weren't going to get the full effect.
yeah.
It's one of those you had to be there type moments.
I think the best line that I said was, you said, "Oh, he's gonna play Dimension Door here," and I said, "Yes, play Dimension Door and use the front door as the door," or something stupid like that. I don't
Yep.
know.
Great commentary, guys. Award-winning stuff there.
I can't really remember what I said, but it was funny in my mind.
It was. That's all that matters.
And then we had James Bloor play Steven Kukas on Steven's channel DM Armada. That's actually up already. You guys can go check that out at on YouTube at DM Armada. Just hit that boy up, see what he played. It was a really interesting match. James won, and the crazy thing is James was the 8th seed in the top 8. And he wound up going through, and Shadow was the number 2 seed, and he made it through. It was, I would say that I think James had a really hard road to get to the finals, but he definitely got there, and he earned his way. So, because he played Ben, who was the number 1 seed.
Oh, and then Ben got knocked out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and
he wasn't salty about that at all, though, right?
No, not at all.
He was cool with it.
Totally cool.
Calm. No qualms.
He had 100% chill about it, honestly.
Max level chill.
Yeah, and then yeah, I really thought Ben could have made it to the championships, but it happens. He was the number 1 seed, passing to Patrick. So all the good cards that Patrick got, Ben handed to him. So that's what's crazy about the draft. You kind of see the hidden value on things as people pass them, and then you don't know what the person got in the first hand. You're not supposed to.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
I was like, all of my cards suck, and all of my cards were gold, and Patrick got them all.
Yeah, Patrick, he gobbled them up in your pool.
Yeah, he did.
I love how we were going. We like to talk to Patrick about like just what's going on in the tournament, like every once in a while, just what's going on, and
just get his thoughts on things, pick his brain.
Yeah, and he was literally like, Robert, you passed up this card, you
What's
passed up
going
this
on?
card, this card. You missed so many good cards.
Yeah. He's like, why did you pass that? I'm like, I don't know. I just did. I didn't know what I was doing, man. I had an idea. It's one of those things when you go into a draft, you have an idea of what you want to play and what you want to draft. And I kind of went, I was just going for that, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't get anything that I was hoping for, and then once a couple of turns passed, it was over at that point. There was nothing I could do about it.
yeah. Once you pass 3 turns of passing cards, you should have a rock solid core, and if you don't, you should be hate drafting at that point
Yeah,
because you know what you passed your opponent, the person next to you. So
yeah, and I don't think I was really hate drafting. I was just hating what I was drafting. It did not go well for me, as we all
see,
know by now.
I think you were really hoping for that Daredevil Billy Club combo.
That was what I was hoping for. I did really well with the Daredevil Billy Club combo in the last draft that we had, Thor draft, and I got the Billy Club. The Daredevil had passed me a couple of times. I was like, all right, it's definitely going to come back around, and it did not. Did not.
I don't understand why you passed that. That's one of your favorite combos in the set. Like,
I figured I had to take one or the other. Either I take the Billy Club or I take the Daredevil, and I was like, well, I guess I'll take the Billy Club because it was a 2-cost mask.
it was your Sophie's
And
choice.
it does damage to things. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to go for the Warriors 3 because I had which one? Volstagg, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. I was like, okay, I'll go Volstagg, and I never got any of the other guys. And so I was like, crap, there goes that idea.
I think
And
everyone
just
had the
crap
Warriors
after that.
3 combo they wanted to play, so they just gobbled up with those cards.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes it bees that way.
yeah, I don't know.
Cool. So
Go ahead.
who is our final two? Who's the champion? Who's fighting for the championship belt that doesn't exist, but they can pretend they have one?
James Blore
So-
versus Patrick Bartley. Go ahead, Joe.
Nice.
So it's a repeat of the of the finals of the last tournament that we've had.
Of the
The
two-team
last
takedown.
takedown.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
These boys get to settle an ancient grudge here.
well,
Centuries in the making.
the interesting thing is these two gentlemen have shown that they're not just good in constructed events; they're good in in drafting events, which is it's usually. I mean, it's not that hard to be crazy good at drafting, because I mean you just pick good cards and you have combos in your head of what you want to do. But they've both proven that they're really good at doing that, and they had to do the drafting portion twice, and that's really interesting, I think.
Yeah, to do well in both drafts.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Whoa, that sounded
Excuse
like a
me,
burp.
sorry about that. Yeah, that was a burp.
Compliments
Trying
to
to
the
be-
show.
Yeah, that's how you lose view right there.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
just
PewDiePie.
Oh, my
5
God.
viewers in the last few minutes, and you let out one of those bad boys. Welcome to the stream, everybody.
Hey, Mike, what's going
Mike.
on?
Oh man. So, oh wow. Hey, what's
Are
up,
we gonna-
Ross?
Ross, pivot. Sorry.
Boss.
What were you gonna ask, Robert?
Are we gonna talk about their teams or
Yes.
their championship teams?
Let me pull up those teams.
I don't know which team is which. I just
Let
have
me
them up.
clear my throat.
right. The teams are on the screen.
I can't see them.
I know you can't see them, Robert.
Oh, okay.
So Patrick's team is very interesting. He has Batgirl carrying the mantle. So while non-Batgirl Bat family character die is active, Batgirl gets +1/+1.
Nice. I like
mhm.
that.
And then he has because there's so many females on this team. Harley Quinn, Tough Cookie. When Harley Quinn is active at the beginning of your turn, if you control at least 2 different villain character dice, your opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. That's a clock if I've ever seen it, and that alone on a team, it gets annoying, and it's easy. It's somewhat easy to work around. You just got to be aggressive.
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. But the other thing is is Parademon for Darkseid. While Parademon is active, when a player draws one or more dice, deal one damage to that player. So each turn, he's basically doing 2 damage, so it's a 10-turn clock on top of whatever he's doing for damage.
Ugh.
Which is super gross.
That is gross.
Me and you watched that combo when he played Jared, and it's super annoying. Super annoying.
Oh man, if Jared just had some rolls, he might have had it. It's just those rolls. The rolls left him.
The game 2 rolls, man, he went super fast and just. Well, his team, he has the cheetah, where she gets bigger for each non-villain character, and he basically swung in for with Dimension Door, and it was, how big was that? He swung in for like 12 or so one turn.
Yeah, and I think it was 12 or 13, one of those.
Yeah,
that sounds about right though.
And then
it was tough though. That last game, his dice just said, "Nope, we're tired."
Yeah, he literally rolled all of his dice and nothing came up for him. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was like I rolled his dice for him.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on with the champions, the two champions teams.
Finalists.
Yeah, finalists. Patrick has Cheetah, some manner of monster. While Cheetah is active, when you field a non-Cheetah villain character die, draw a die from your bag and prep it. Seems pretty good. It's Patrick does have a little bit of a curve going on with his team. He's got a 2, 3, a bunch of 4s, and then a 5, 2 5s, and a 6. So it's a little bit funky of a curve, but it's a curve. He's at least got some 2 costs.
Funky.
Yeah. And then he's got Darkseid Omega. While Darkseid is active, whenever you could use a global ability, you may sacrifice a Parademon. If you do, capture an opposing character die until end of turn.
That's such annoying removal.
Yeah, super annoying. Super annoying. Because I mean, he's gonna have 2 Parademons out there most likely. And then he has Ra's al Ghul's fighting death himself. While Ra's al Ghul is active, when your opponent may not declare a non-villain character die as attackers unless they pay 1 life per die.
1 energy per die.
Life.
It says 1 generic energy per die.
Okay. All right.
Come on, man. Give it to these people right.
All right. 1 generic energy. So that's, if you're attacking, you got to make sure you save energy to attack.
That's so annoying.
Yeah. And then if they're attacking with villain characters, when he passes priority, he could just put a mask, use a mask to turn them into, have their villains lose the villain affiliation with his Ra's al Ghul.
Mm-hmm.
So if they didn't save enough energy to swing through with everything they have, it's a pretty good defensive card without really being. It's kind of hard to get to, but it's not really all that hard to get to.
Not with the kind of ramp he has on his team.
Yeah. And then for the next one, he has the Joker, The Last Laugh. When a Bat Family character die is KO'd, spin the Joker up 1 level, and that's on his one side. Then when you flip, while Joker is active, whenever a Bat Family character die is fielded, you may spin target non-villain character die down 1 level. So if they have a character that they need to get to top 3, level 3, you can keep spinning it down, which is super annoying and funny. Mm-hmm. That's a villain or Bat Family on that Joker. And then he has Talia al Ghul. It's complicated. She has fast. Talia al Ghul can't be blocked by character dice with flip. Interesting.
She is complicated.
Yeah, definitely. And she has that interesting die look on there.
The eggplant emoji.
Yeah, the eggplant emoji.
Nice. Real nice.
Classy. This channel is so classy. And then
it's after hours.
And then there's he has, for basic actions, he has take cover. So basically pay a shield, target character gets +1 defense, but the actual action of it is character dice that you control get +2 defense, and then burst and double burst, target character die gets an extra +3 defense. So could get big, but I don't think you buy those at all. The one he did buy somewhat is Truce. KO up to 2 character dice you control. For each character die you could KO this way, your opponent must KO a character die they control.
That seems really good.
Yeah, super good. And I don't know if James has put up any of his matches from the draft event from the top 8, but here's his team.
You want me to run through?
If you want.
All right. Hush, Matters of the Heart. Hush gets +2/+2 if there are any active bat character dice. Holy crap. That's awesome. And it just says bat character dice. It doesn't have to be yours. It could be everybody's. Batgirl carrying the mantle, 2-cost fist. While the non-Batgirl character die is active, Batgirl gets +1/+1. That's awesome. That's synergy right there with the Hush. Right?
Synergy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's got a 2 and a 3. And here goes another 2-cost. Catwoman, Slippery Allegiance. Flip. That's it. That's all she got is flip. But she's a 2-cost mask. That's awesome. He has all like little bitty purchase cost. The question, ask the right questions. 3-cost mask with Gadgeteer. While the question is active, if you control no villain character dice, he gains regenerate. And that's awesome. Dove, while Hawk is active, Dove gets +2 attack and +2 defense. Pay a shield for the global. Target attacking character gets -1 attack. We have Jimmy Olsen.
I do.
Superman's pal. Go ahead.
I don't have my glasses on, but is there a Hawk on the team?
There is not.
So it looks as though he didn't really have anything better else to play, honestly, and he just put it
He's
in there
just
for that
using
global.
it for the global.
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably that big body. She got 8 defense on that 3 side.
Ooh, you like that body, boy?
Yeah, 001 with 8 defense. I'll take that.
Yeah, true.
Then we got Jimmy Olsen, Superman's pal. While when Jimmy Olsen is KO'd, you may prep a Superman or Supergirl character dice in your use pile. He doesn't have either one of those, so I guess he's just there because he's cheap.
Yeah.
Steve Trevor, 2-cost bolt, Bachelor in a bind, super cheap.
Okay, Armada was nice enough to point out that all of his stuff is on there for the affiliations for Team Up.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Mr. Miracle, Great Escape, 2-cost. Mr. Miracle cannot be targeted by opposing action dice or abilities. Save Civilians, basic action is whenever you field a sidekick this turn, reduce the fielding cost of another die by 1. Draw a die from your bag and prep it. And the big gun here, Team Up. Each of your character dice get +1/+1 for each different affiliation among your active character dice -1. Holy crap. There's so many different affiliations on this team. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
And the Catwoman flips from a bat affiliation to a villain affiliation.
Yeah,
and that's
but-
always good because then you can switch up Gadgeteers regenerate.
Yeah. He's also got the Hush in there for the villain, but I mean so he's got 2 villains or 2 bats, but I mean when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter. He's got so many, like his curve on this is so it's very like not very curvy. He has mostly 2-cost and gets up to max of a 4, and he has a basic action that he needs to buy for 4. So it gets pretty ridiculous pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes the save civilians route for his prepping or his drawing. I see that there. And it also minimizes how much he has to pay for each die. So he practically has to pay 1 most of the turns that he rolls save civilians and a couple of sidekicks. Even 1 sidekick.
Most of his stuff costs 1 to field, so it's pretty much free.
Yeah.
The only thing that costs 2 is Catwoman.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Everything else has a total fielding cost of 1.
Mm-hmm.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I wish I could watch this match because I would like to see this super aggro weenie beat 'em up team.
The foam stick battle.
Yeah, it's like.
So wait, Steven, did you play him?
Steven
A
played him in
match?
the
Is that
second
why you're
round.
talking about? Okay, that's probably why he's like, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
really
just-
good team.
He
gets in
doesn't.
your bag by fielding your sidekicks. You don't even need a ramp.
Yeah.
Is what he's saying.
Which is
Mhm.
understandable. I don't think you need ramp on this team at all. Everything's so cheap.
No.
Yeah.
You can just buy something grab a couple of sidekicks.
I mean, if you want to get fancy, you can do the save civilians, but I don't know.
You really don't have
Nah,
to.
I mean he probably was just needing that on there because it worked with the team the least, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
Eventually,
out of all those other options.
if he has team up already purchased and he has the Gadgeteer,
Yeah, I was gonna say the question team up combo right there. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. That looks spicy.
Yeah.
oh, man. Okay. That's so ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. And so, yeah, I mean, he does need to get that Dove. I mean, the highest cost character that he needs to get out is probably Dove for another affiliation. But even that Hush is not that important to get out because he could just have that Catwoman out and have Batgirl out and have Catwoman be the villain affiliation, and he doesn't need the Hush anymore. So
he also only has 2 per card, so
yeah. I mean, I don't think he really needs anything else.
might run out of things to swing with at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, that's right. He
assume-
was given the basics, the basic actions in the pack too. So you had to use what he had to work with what he got.
Yeah,
he was just going for affiliations. It looks like that's nutty.
yeah. He got that team up, and he knew he knew exactly what he needed to do.
Man, looks almost
That
like a
is
Laurier
insane.
team. Oh
What kind of
man,
wizardry is this?
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna pose the question again. I said it earlier in the chat in the video during the stream, but out of these two teams, who do you think is gonna win? Do you think it's gonna be James's really fast, ridiculously fast team up team, or Shadow's amazing Batman team with the control?
I hate to say it.
Oh,
I think James with his super fast team up has a really good chance. It's going to be very hard for Shadow. I think. I think Shadow can. I don't think it's. I think it's. I'm saying it's 55-45. I think James is gonna win. I don't
Burley?
think. Yeah. That's just the odds I'm giving personally.
Well, Steven is saying James has no chance.
No, he's saying Blur will win.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
he
chance.
says Blord, no chance.
He says Blur,
I don't
comma, no chance.
It's just
Be
brutal.
more clear, Steven. Come on.
All right.
Robert needs you to spell everything out for him in
Spell
big letters, in big golden letters with sparkles.
And
The
around
way I
it.
read it is Blord, no chance. That's the way I read it.
There you go.
Oh,
There
He
you go.
corrected.
all right. I
Laura
put it
wins
back on
easy.
us, by the way.
For those of us in the back,
Yeah.
Yep.
I
couldn't hear your message through the chat.
I do think Blort. Yeah. I think if anyone can figure out the enigma of James, it's going to be Shadow. But Shadow is going to be behind the 8 ball again against James.
well, James is hungry for some retribution.
For what?
Or no,
Shadow hasn't
Is it
beat
Shadow?
Yeah.
Shadow's hungry for some
Shadow.
retribution. My bad.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is going to be the third in the trilogy. And James has already won 2 of them. So
Is it?
yes, they played in the 2-team takedown just playing, and then they played in the championship, and now they're playing in the
Oh,
championship
okay.
for the online draft.
So he's going for the 3-peat.
He's going for the clean sweep.
Oh man.
Man, I hope Shadow. I
Excuse me.
Jesus, Joe.
Rude. I'm sorry. We had pizza about an hour ago, and it's just moving through me.
I can tell. I can smell it.
Are you the Rock? Because I can smell what you're cooking. But man,
Okay, we didn't lose anybody because of that. Good.
I think Shadow has as good a chance as any to beat James, but it's
Yep.
going to be rough.
He'd be the one to figure it out for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And like I said, I just wish we could watch it. It's going to be so early in the day that I'm not going to be able to catch it.
Yeah, those Europeans, man. So
Oh, good.
yeah. Joe, what do you think?
What do I think about the?
Who do you think's gonna win?
the
Who do you love?
I don't know. Like, Blor's team is just like looking at all the pieces individually. You go, man, what is this? And then you see the basic action, and you're like, oh, okay, I see what he's doing here. But I just, as far as like, I don't know if Shadow. So like, James's thing is the roles. It always comes down to roles with him. He can have the most amazing team set up and everything, but every time we would test or we would play against each other in matches, he would always, like, 1 out of 3 times his roles would just go really well, and then the other times they would just be really bad, and he would have to just like miraculously make his way out of it somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who consecutively in multiple games in a single match on his first turn never rolled an energy that he needed to make his first turn purchase. That's how bad his luck was.
Yeah.
So he's got to fight that, and otherwise he's got everything going for him. And then you have Shadow, who just, I mean, and I don't want to say that their experience is better. One is better than the other because I've seen both of them play. I've seen both of them come out of really tight spots. And I just think that, Shadow with his team, it's super solid because he got literally everything he asked for. Everything he could have wanted was given to him in those packs.
Yeah.
So I would still say it comes down to James rolling. Like, it's heavily favored towards James, is my opinion.
Yeah.
If you get those rolls down.
Get those rolls.
Yeah, that is, man. Yeah, looking at James's team, it almost doesn't make sense, and you're like, oh yeah.
No,
Okay.
it does.
But man.
And so, I mean, that's the trick too. Is sometimes in games like this, it's down to whenever you have a team like Shadows, it's like all of his cards and all of his his characters and his abilities have individual strengths that are greater than that of James's. So if Shadow, is able to maneuver with his truce basic action, he's able to pick off those much needed cards that James wants to keep around for whatever reason, be it team up or just to add to pressure, then James will be on the back foot. And it all depends on how well Shadow uses his control pieces.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I mean, you've got Talia al Ghul, who can't be blocked by, let's see,
flip characters.
He can't be blocked by flip characters, which is Catwoman. And Catwoman's, I'd say, one of his better attackers because she's a 3/3 on our level 3 side.
Yeah,
and she helps Batgirl, so she always has to be out.
Yeah.
For Shadow, I think he has to get to that Ra's al Ghul to prevent the attacks from happening.
Yeah.
And that's
because
really what it's going to have to come down to.
Ra's al Ghul and Talia has fast too. So I mean, he can straight up block with her all day.
Yeah, it's just Ra's al Ghul is his biggest.
His 6 cost.
It's a 6 cost, so he's got to try to find a way to ramp to that quick. Which Shadow does have some ramp, but it depends on him getting to his lower purchases to set up his ramp. So, yeah. If James doesn't roll, Shadow's going to win. But that's the case with anyone.
Sure.
But
yeah.
Oh, man.
That's Dice Masters.
That's the way them goes sometimes.
That's how baseball go.
All right, so that's our predictions for that. We're kind of buying heavily into Blur on that stock.
Yeah. And again, that match is going to. Are we going to be streaming it? I don't know. It's happening at 3:30 Central Time.
So we're trying to work out some stuff on the back end here between us, to where one of us is going to be able to stream, namely me, with Ben and I commentating. We'll try to work that out. If not, then we'll just have to rely on James's, Zach and James's channel, Dice Masters with James and Zach, putting out the video.
Did they say what table they're going to be on?
No, I assume they're going to be doing that more towards the time, or just letting our channel jump in there
Just
too.
that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I
Just
know
saying.
last time I basically just jumped in there and it was just me and them.
Yeah,
So
man. I
That
want
was-
to watch it. I'm gonna be working though.
I want to watch it too, and I'll be working. That's what sucks.
Yeah.
I want to stream it and I want to commentate on it, but
I want a Fanta.
yeah, and
Don't you wanna?
I can't even call in because on Monday it's a holiday, and if you call in
Labor
that
Day.
day, you don't get paid for Monday. So
Yep.
So scary. Hush up. Yes. I told you I told you I have the older one and the 2 kittens, and he's actually calling for them.
Oh. Okay. So next line of business. Everyone, this is officially the last minute for sign up for the 2-team takedown. I'm about to submit mine after playing a few people and upsetting a few people. I'm about to submit my teams. Joe, when's the turn-in date? Time, I should say.
Tomorrow midnight.
Yeah.
11:59.
Yeah, 11:59.
59.
And then once it reaches, and I will be up past that point, putting everything in standings wise and messaging people anything relevant to what they need or to work out for teams and stuff like that.
There is an issue in the teams that I've seen submitted so far. I haven't looked at any of the cards, so I don't want anyone to think that I'm going through and just like trying to net deck. But there's someone that submitted two sets.
Yes, that was Josh Bodie, and I looked at his second entry, and it looks like he was just correcting something that had previously not been in there. So I think it was a dice count that he needed corrected or something. I'll actually hit Josh up and talk to him later on tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say just reach out to him to confirm.
And also,
yeah, guys. So
just
Mike, I'm right there
message
with
us.
you, man.
Just message us if you need to adjust something.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You guys don't be afraid to PM me in either the Discords or Facebook. Shout out. Just say, hey, Joe Vega on Facebook. I have a question about this, or on my last team, I needed to change this. I'm not opposed to changing anything right now. Even at 11:59 tomorrow, I'm not opposed to you guys saying, hey, I needed to change something real quick. It's just I don't want to have to do that 2 or 3 days after. I want everything to be done right on time, and if not, it needs to be done sort of before time with as much time as you can.
Yeah.
Much of a heads up as you can.
Yeah, and Mike, I'm right there with you, Mike. I don't know what teams I'm gonna play in tomorrow's day, so I have an idea just because they're already built and I have them saved on my Dice Coalition page, and I'll probably just run those because I'm lazy. And yeah, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. Chris wants me to play a Super Rare Yanti. I don't know how to play Super Rare Yanti all that well, so
You've seen it enough. You know how to
I've
play
seen
it.
it enough. I've never done it because I hate that card, but I'm glad I got it finally from you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I just don't I don't know how to run it. And I'm just gonna have to
Swing
figure
hard.
it out.
That's all.
What's the thing? Kitty cat spotting. That was awesome.
Okay. Interesting. That was you clean shaven. I don't think I've seen you clean shaven in. Oh, wait, you
Yeah.
only.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah. Well, so I meant to give you like a brief glimpse of the cat. So that's her name is Chihiro. And she's the curious brave one. That's why we gave her that name because it means 1,000 questions.
Nice.
So anyway, she was just like coming up, and I didn't know if you guys could hear her purring in the mic because she's just like purring off the chain. She's sitting right by me right now.
Nice. My
Okay,
parents got a new
anyway.
cat too.
What?
I said my parents
That's
got a new
right.
cat too.
Yeah, I saw your post about that on the social media.
On the media.
So I'm actually, so I'm trying to put together this team so I can send you the link, Chris, because I kind of want you to show everybody. This is basically what I have for a second team because my first team, big surprise, is going to be the Hella Beholder combo, golden combo.
Mm-hmm.
And I initially did some testing with Ben, and as annoying as that first round was, it was really enlightening. And this is why testing is so important. And I don't mind you guys turning in your lists, your team lists, on at 11:59. I'm okay with that because, you know, testing takes a little bit to get used to. Even if it's a team you're familiar with, like for me, the Hella Beholder team, Ben had to straight up tell me a couple of times, "Hey man, you can attack here. It's okay to do that." And I really had to go, "Okay, well, let me just stop focusing on the build itself and start playing it out."
Yeah, when I've played you a few times with that team, you get so into doing the combo that sometimes you just lose sight of just you do have a massive, like I've seen you where you're still doing the combo and you have like 16 damage on the board and I'm still sitting at like you're sitting at 20 and I'm like it would put me on my back heel so hard.
Mm-hmm.
So ahead.
But that's the thing is like I have that team locked down, and I moved over to my second team, which I'm currently working on. That team's pretty good too. Golden Age gives us a lot of options.
A lot of gross combos.
So I just wanted to let everybody know that yeah, if you're stuck, it's okay to be stuck as long as you guys are able to turn everything in on 11:59. Don't let that kind of deter you from playing in being in the tournament.
Yeah, just throw a fun team together. That's what I'm doing. Honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and try to create a competitive team like these guys. For me, Golden, the 2-team takedown's about fun, and I want to have fun with all my cards that I have. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't anticipate doing well, but that's
Hella Beholder is fun, but it's fun for me. It's not fun for the other player. I mean, it's never fun to unpurchase dice or have your dice that you just bought go straight back to the card. And that was the thing that Ben was annoyed about, and Chris gets annoyed about. Is like, oh well, neat combo, but you've already unpurchased every single of the 5 dice that I just bought last 3 turns. Why don't you go ahead and kill me now?
Yeah, kill me!
Come on, dude, kill me now! Come on!
Yeah, it's death by 1,000 paper cuts, and it just seems like you wanted to keep going. Sometimes it's like, no, just let it stop. God. I hate
but
that
there are teams I know you do. I love it. But there are teams out there that are, I think, a little bit worse, but that's because they win quicker and they never give you a chance to actually play the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Play to win the game.
But we don't want you, so like a lot of things I've been seeing in the chat is people are hesitant because of the older archetypes that existed. I don't want anybody to be intimidated by that.
Yeah. And I do see
there is a lot of stuff to counter some of the older things.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you have a decent collection, you'll do good. Even if you don't have a decent collection, just get in there and have some fun. Get your get your feet wet. Play in a tournament online. Dip your toes in the water.
The newest online gaming sensation.
Yeah, Dice Masters.
There you go.
The best thing since sliced bread.
Let's calm down.
Well, anyway, so yes, you're right, Robert. So the thing is you can approach it 2 different ways. You can say, well, I don't have the cards, or I don't have the team list that I feel is going to be confident or competitive enough, so I'll just go with a fun list. So, or you look at a card and you could say, well, especially for newer players, like you're like, oh man, I wanted to use this in my modern tournament or my draft tournament, but I didn't have the right pieces because they weren't Golden Age. Well, guess what? Now you can do that. Now you can do the thing that you've always wanted to do with the sets that are older, especially for some of the Guardian stuff, because some of the modern Guardians aren't as good as some of the Golden Age Guardians.
Yep.
And same thing with like some of the X-Men too, especially some of the X-Men.
Ooh. And I can't wait till I can't wait for all the world to have everything, and then we're not as restricted in the future as we are with this one, because I really do kind of feel bad about not allowing everyone to play the cards that they just got in the North America, but it would be so unfair to the rest of the world.
Yeah, I actually got some inquiries about running some teams that had newer stuff because that's what they bought, and there were new players, and I'm like, oh, dude, sorry, unfortunately, that's not going to be allowed because not everybody has it, but hopefully next time.
Yeah, and that was a Facebook message, and Robert got to it within like 20 minutes. It was crazy.
I was on it.
So
Send
We
those
are here to
messages.
help and support, is what Chris is saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
We try to be as quick as we can on that. I know I'm on my phone constantly, just back and forth in each of the Discords as well as Facebook, just making sure that everybody's questions are answered.
Yeah. And that being said, we also have a new head judge permanently for the channel. It's going to be Paul, or PK on the forums on Discord.
Paul.
Yeah.
Hello, Paul.
Paul's knows his stuff, and he doesn't participate in the tournaments. He's always got so much going on. So, Shadow was a good head judge. It's just Shadow had a few. There was a few questions that came up when Shadow was playing, and we kind of think best to avoid anything by just having someone that's not playing in the tournament
conflicts.
to be. Yeah,
Yep.
because Shadow is overly trying to be overly sensitive to being in the match and having a question that he just didn't rule on it, and I was like the next up, I guess, and so I kind of answered it, but really Paul answered it because I whispered, private messaged him. So,
You whispered in his ear.
yeah,
Hey, Paul.
hey Paul, I'm part of an ASMR stream. But no, Paul answered it super quick. Paul's always on the in our Discord and also Dice Coalition. He's part of Dice Coalition's website basically, and he clarifies a lot of things. So, and what's crazy is we had kind of talked about who we want to be the head judge, and me and Joe had kind of talked about it, and then like 2 days ago, Shadow's like, "Hey, so you're gonna have Paul be the head judge from now on, right?" And I was like, "How do you know this? Who told you? Who did you waterboard?" But yeah, so it wasn't a big surprise to Paul or Shadow or anyone over at the Dice Coalition, because I mean, everyone trusts what Paul says. So
He is the man.
he is the man with the plan. So
Okay, so I'm gonna send you this, Chris, so that you can show everybody.
all right,
Give me just 1 second. I love working off of a Chromebook.
so nice.
All the sarcasm intended on that, by the way.
I was gonna say, was that sarcasm?
That is 100% sarcasm. Because I
Sarcastic.
cannot get the freaking thing to.
And whenever the teams are done, we're gonna post all the teams in our Discord so everyone can see who's playing with what. So
Playing with fire.
yeah, I assume that I'll be doing that because I don't know if you feel comfortable enough using the bot, Joe.
You can do it. I don't mind, but you can do it. You have a little bit more experience with it.
I don't trust computers.
Yeah. Skynet will take over, which is why they're part of Skynet Public Relations.
Hate
Yeah.
computers, all kinds.
Which is ironic.
Yeah, the other day, Robert was concerned with some spam from a company called Cyberdyne. What is this?
Yep.
All right.
When are you sending it to me to
I just sent it in the chat, in our group, in our private chat.
all right, hold on.
In the pirate chat.
Copy link address, go to OBS.
Obus.
Card talk.
Okay, so
I have
this
not
is
posted
going to
it
be an
yet.
example of right. I'm just letting everybody know. This is going to be an example of kind of a plan or a team, a secondary team that I wanted that was a little bit more well-rounded, because the Hella Beholder, it's great and all, but it's like super laser focused. It's kind of like a glass cannon. So once you stop the Hella Global, that's it. It requires a lot of work around to even get that taken care of. So if you have like double blankers on your team, it hoses Hella hardcore. And then Beholder does nothing but he's a big beefy attacker, which by then it's assumed you'll walled up by then. So this is a good, well-rounded team, I think.
All right, transition to it. Okay. So Oracle, Scarlet Witch. I'm just reading them off to make sure that I have them all correct. Professor X, Billy Club, Red Dragon, Shriek, Sonic Beam, Green Devil Mask, Resurrection, Team Up. Okay. All right, that's up on the screen.
Okay, so I had tested this a couple because I wasn't too sure about it. I wanted to do Bard, but then I kind of felt I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna go control, I might as well go all in on the control aspect of it. But the neat thing I like, the neat interaction I like, is the Red Dragon Global, along with the Green Devil Mask and Billy Club. Both of those are actions that force the opponent to reroll, and that's always fun to do. As far as like Red Dragon's concerned, and the other thing is too is in Golden, it's super easy to get to that point to where you can just buy a Red Dragon really early and swing with them. And it's the super rare dragon, which the ability is while active, once per turn when you use an action die effect, you may use a second copy of its effect. So you can double down on your team up, which is super easy to do if you notice all the affiliations that I have in there.
Yep,
Yeah.
I did notice that.
So all of these things are going to be fielded relatively early. All these characters are going to be fielded relatively early, depending on what I'm going up against. Scarlet Witch is against actions. Oracle is against the opponent's PXG, while I get to take advantage of it. Mimic, of course, is always going to be there for my ramp, so he's an exile character. And then if I ever get the Red Dragon out, then that's just a bonus. But yeah. So the game plan is pretty straightforward. You get your control pieces out for team up, and then that's pretty much it. If you have to fall back on Red Dragon, he's a good fallback, I'd say.
Yeah.
So what are you swinging with here? Just sidekicks?
Yes, and no. I'm swinging with everybody by the time team up comes out.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you're hoping to have enough energy for breath weapon and also play team up, correct?
I don't always have
you
to
can use life, isn't it?
No, that's
Oh no, that's a different one.
That's the uncommon.
Gotcha.
So with this team, once you get the control pieces out, that's already +3 for the team up. So yeah, you do have to just send a bunch of sidekicks in, but at the same time, I'm never gonna have to use Red Dragon unless I actually get the opportunity to buy it. He's not the main goal. He's just like he's a really good double threat.
Yeah. I think team up adds a layer to a lot of teams that basically like lends itself to like a Bard style, but in my opinion a little bit worse. But it does have that Scarlet Witch hate that it's a little bit hard to overcome.
For this team, do you think taking out Resurrection and putting an insect play would be better? Because you already have Mimic ramp going, don't you?
Yeah. There's a bunch of slots I can. So the main focus of putting this team together was to show everybody that, hey, look, 90% of this team is modern, by the way.
Yeah.
The only 2 cards that aren't modern are Oracle and that Red Dragon. Everything else is 100% modern. So these are leftover pieces that I had in my collection that I really wanted to put to some good use because they're favorites of mine. Oracle is a favorite of mine. Red Dragon's always been my favorite since I've opened. So Oracle was the 5th pack that I opened in my first Battle for Faerun box.
Wow.
And that was my very first super rare opening too. And so I was freaking out. I was like, oh man, this is so amazing.
I remember.
So he's been in my collection since 2014, 15.
I remember I
recently got mine.
Did you?
For the super rare.
How'd you
recently got them.
Where'd you get it from?
My buddy that mailed me his entire collection.
Oh yeah, I need to get the turtle set from you.
I have a complete D&D, the first 2 sets now.
That's insane. Nice. Very nice.
It's awesome.
Oh.
Thank you, Brian. Shout out to Brian for doing that for me. Appreciate it, bud.
Appreciate.
So in testing, I found out that there's a couple pieces I can change out, and one of my weaknesses is a lot of times I have to kind of top out at 4. I don't have a lot of wiggle room on that. So there was a couple of turns where I'd have like 2 leftover energy that I couldn't really do much with.
Wiggle.
But team up, you're right. It does add an extra layer. It's there. So I'm just saying it's possible with your collections that you guys can, if you're hesitant about any of this, you could just go, okay, well, I'll throw together some of these cards that are my favorite that I didn't get to use as much in the last Modern Tournament, or these Golden Age cards that I wanted to use but couldn't because every event that I've gone to isn't golden. So it's just
Yeah.
it's there, it's doable.
And
You guys can go through that. And this is a fun team for me to play. I like the strategy here. It's like, okay, well, what are they gonna buy first? I need to pick a counter for that, and I just field that counter, and that's it.
yeah. See, another thing that people probably aren't seeing that is going to be obvious after the first 2 weeks. You're not going to be playing the top of the tournament if you lose the first or second week. Like let's say you lose the first week, you're going to be playing everyone that lost that first week. And then if you lost again, you're going to be playing everyone that, in theory, lost that week also. Or if you're the odd man like Joe was in the last one, you're going to be playing someone that's 1-1. And that's really what it's going to come down to. You're going to be playing the teams that have the more fun aspects the further into the tournament you get, and done not as well as you do in the tournament. So
You'll be playing me.
yeah.
Because like I said, I don't anticipate doing very well. But I do plan on having some fun.
Fun.
Yeah, at first everybody was a little hesitant. They were like, "Oh man, golden! This is going to be a real crapshoot because there's so many powerful teams." And it's like, yeah, there's powerful teams, but there's also powerful counters to those powerful teams, and they're in a lot more abundance of an abundance now, because the last time people played Golden Age, they only had maybe a handful of counters to things like Bard, or now we've got the Wonder Woman Reflections that's just straight up shuts that down.
Mm-hmm.
We've got so much more to deal with the pieces, with the exception of Yuan-Ti Pureblood, but not everybody's running that. I've gotten out of the team list that I have, I think there's only 2 team lists that actually have Yuan-Ti Pureblood super rares on them. So that's saying something. That means that people either just want to play to have fun, or not a lot of people feel like bringing that team in. They want to try out their other Golden Age stuff.
Because they know it's not fun.
See, I have a new favorite combo that I really like, but it's not legal for this tournament. So
Makes sense.
Otherwise, I'd be playing that.
We can't tease audiences with stuff they can't play. At least not in the tournament.
Not for the tournament, yeah.
All right.
That will be for another day.
Well, you can go to DM Armada's channel and see that one.
Oh yeah, he just released. So, shout outs to DM Armada for doing the work for us while we've been concentrating on this stuff. Because he's just been knocking it out of the park with these new spoilers and putting together teams and testing them out. I love his videos that he's been putting out for the last 2-3 weeks, because in addition to his Golden Age or his Hall of Fame stuff, which gives you kind of like a quick rundown, a lesson about how powerful the Golden Age teams can be, he's been coming out with like spoilers and combo breakdown videos. So it's great for the new stuff.
Yeah.
Steven just shouted out himself.
And he also got his hands on some Warhammer stuff, and I'm super jelly of that. So, super jealous. But
well, one day we'll get in there. We'll get in the Cool Kids Club, and Wiz Kids will be like, "Hey, you guys want a box of new stuff?"
I don't think we're gonna get to the Cool Kids Club anytime soon.
That's all right. We'll just be smoking in the bathroom.
Yeah.
They're probably mad at me because I asked them for that Black Panther die that they have yet to respond to me about. So
Jesus, that's.
Hashtag
Do we
just
need to send more messages on Twitter?
I think we should. Let's tweet them.
I'm still waiting to see if I can go to
Really
PAX and
monster.
commentate there. That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
I don't know if they'll
That'd be
have it,
fantastic,
though.
actually.
Yeah. Oh man, actually have commentators that actually love and play the game. I don't know.
Right?
Well, I mean, so I don't want to harp on anybody that was doing it this last time around, because they actually have played the game. It's just the 2016 championship, I can't remember who was commentating on that, but all they did was talk about clicks for like the first 2 hours. And it was like, come on, man. You've got DM on the screen, and all you're doing is talking about clicks.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Ooh, speaking of clicks, I bought some
Why?
because they were Ninja Turtles,
Oh, okay.
and they're 8 bits, so they're like pixelated. and
I
look
was
freaking
there when you
awesome.
bought that. I was there.
Right, Steven. Jimmy is great. He's a great. There was the other guy that was doing that. He was just talking about other things, and Jimmy was. This last time around, Jimmy was actually trying to pull it back in, and it just wasn't happening.
Yeah, that's the only thing. They don't focus on like. I don't want to harp on anyone either, but when the game's in front of you being played and you're not focusing on that, especially when two of the creators of the game are playing and you're talking about hero clicks. I mean,
Oh yeah, that was the worst.
that was
And
actually
to top it off-
garbage, honestly.
To top it off, they didn't have any table audio, and that would have really sweetened the deal right there. It's like, oh, we get to watch two of the creators of the game play it, and maybe while the commentators are taking a breath, you can hear Eric and, talk about the game, playing it out, or
Or trash talk each other.
Yeah, it's just like, why couldn't we get that?
Yeah.
Did you ask too much?
Yeah.
I guess so.
They've just given you the new set and some team packs. Calm down.
They're like, what more do you want?
Yeah. Wait till the next team pack where you have to get max die and you have to buy 3 packs. So let's go one thing at a time, okay?
So I haven't watched any of the spoilers for the Warhammer stuff because I was trying to save myself from it. But is there a max die 5 on one of them?
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
In a team pack.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the box. Okay, never mind.
No, the box has max die 4 on all of them.
Except for and there's in that same one where it has max die of 5, it has a max die of 1 on one of the cards.
That totally makes sense. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. So one more time for everybody who's either just joining in or who's going to be watching later and picking this up. We will have signups are over tomorrow at midnight. If you need anything, you can DM any one of us, and then we'll pass it. They'll pass it to me, or I'll speak to you directly. One way or another, just Facebook, the 2 Discord channels, ours as well as Dice Masters Unlimited. The links are below, and then the link for the sign up is also in the description.
It is.
So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, hit me up. I'm going to be testing after the stream, so yeah, we'll go from there.
And I believe Young Ben's going to be in some of the Dice Coalition channels testing out also. So
yeah, there's a good chance you'll catch both of us testing. And Ben, of course, he's the 3-time champ, so I can't really say anything on it, but I'll be happy to help out.
Well,
so again, I just don't want anyone to feel left out or get what's that called? Analyzation, paralyzation, where you overanalyze everything and you get overwhelmed by how many cards you have. Like I said, I'm just gonna throw a couple of fun teams. I already have one team that is already built. The other one, I'm just gonna throw something. It might just be that flying sidekick team that we showcased last week, just to do that, just because I like flying sidekicks. Like I said, it's just gonna be some fun teams. Throw something together, participate in the tournament. The more the merrier, and let's have some fun. That's the way I'm looking at it, because I don't anticipate doing very well.
And we'll be announcing the next tournament middle of this tournament, and I think everyone's going to want to tune in for that too. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I think our time is done here. So we went over. Oh, we have another thing on our channel. It was from the DM North guys, the Fix It Challenge. It's really interesting. There's about an hour and a half of when me and Shadow just like hate play each other by not wanting to lose. So you'll see that, but most of the other ones super fast. So watch that. It's fun.
Yeah, get in there, check that out.
Don't fall asleep on the hour and a half.
One more thing. I wanted to put this out there to the other content creators. If for whatever reason your schedules aren't permitting you guys to come and join the 2-team takedown or anybody else, and you guys want a spot commentating, message us as well. We'll be happy to have you guys on the mic,
Yes.
participating, because that's what we're about. We're about the online community itself. I'm not really doing this just for me. I'm doing it for everybody to have a chance to feel like a community, because we don't get opportunities like this from WizKids very often. So I'm trying to make sure that we can take advantage of just, the online community, making sure that everybody's a part of the tournament, whether they're playing or not.
Mhm.
Yep. Joe's for the children. So
Because they are our future.
that's what I hear. You gotta teach them well.
And Ross over on his Twitch channel is probably going to have a few of the matches on his channel. So,
Bye, Mike. Sorry, I missed it. Night. I'm all late. Sorry.
oh,
I like
Mike.
Mike. I gotta give him a shout out for everything.
Yeah. So,
Mike, drink some water. Good job, Mike. Way to stay hydrated.
Oh my gosh.
what?
I think we should end it on that note.
Rob's on
I was
rare
gonna
form
say.
today.
I'm sleepy. I'm a little warm right now. I haven't had soda all day.
Okay.
Okay.
I gotta let
Rob.
you guys go because
Pepper.
these cats are just like all over.
What got
Okay.
into those cats?
Oh, the older one's wanting to play with the little one.
Oh, that's nice. That just sounds
So, no, it sounds terrible. A grown ass cat going after a kitten
Get
that's
'em.
like a quarter of his
nice.
size.
Boom. Cat
No,
fight.
don't chew on the wire. Don't chew on the wire.
Okay.
No. All
All
right.
right. While Joe tries to get that taken care of, I guess we'll go ahead and do the sign off. Is that good?
Yeah.
We're
Peace
done
out.
with everything. Later, Joe. All right, guys. So that is going to do it for us here at CR Game Room. Check us out on Facebook or Twitter and join our conversations on Discord. The links to each are in the description below. Also, last but not least, be sure to like and subscribe. And thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging. Bye.
Bye, guys.